Attack pressuring the ball as Micaiah Sanders comes up court for Southern. It's Gordine and Sanders out top. Dribble handoff for Sanaya Reed. Gordine really wanted to take the three but couldn't, and Verhulst has the rebound for Oklahoma. Sahara Williams trying to whip it inside for Van, but it's poked out by Sanaya Reed. It'll be Oklahoma basketball underneath.
Something to keep an eye on. Every time that Southern is in the half-court chat, they are going to drive that. They have that dribble drive type offense that they love to run. Sooners really have to guard the ball at the point of attack.
The 2024 Big 12 Conference Newcomer of the Year, Peyton Verhulst, off the inbound pass. That's poked away. Nice job to knock it away from behind by Micaiah Sanders. The Oklahoma starting five here. Nevaeh Tot is making her 84th consecutive start as a Sooner. Sahara Williams back for her sophomore season. Reagan Beers, Van, and Verhulst, the starters for the Sooners. This is Sanders. Had 22 points in this building for Southern a season ago. Verhulst, quick out. Skylar Van's three, in, and there's the first bucket. Skylar Van knocking down a triple.
And that was that one more, that swing by the Sooners right out of transition. Skylar, first basket of the 24-25 season for the Sooners.
She is 44 points away from 1,500 for her Sooner career, playing now with her sister, Zaya, who will come off the bench shortly. Shot clock running down. Sanaya Reed giving it a go. No. Nevaeh Tot scrambles for the rebound, and she's bumped, fouled there by Anaya Gordine. Carlos Bunch is saying, come on, there wasn't much there.
Hey, the Sooners are so deadly. Swing, right out of transition. They get so much work done where they are one of the best assisting teams in the country, and right there shows you why.
Verhulst off a little rub screen from Beers. Rebound Sahara Williams. Nice up and under, and she'll score her first bucket.
So strong. Those long shots produce long rebounds, and that time Sahara was right there on the spot.
Such a good freshman season, and then in the exhibition game the other night, she had 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals. That's a two-pointer just inside the line. Rattles out for Gordine.
Did all that in 17 minutes too, Chad.
I'd say that's efficient. She pivots in, a kick out for Beers. That's online, but in and out, no good. And right into the hip pocket of Aaliyah Fontenot.
Good-looking stroke right there, though, by Reagan Beers. And Coach Baranczyk said you're going to see about 1, maybe 2 of those a game from Reagan.
She took 10 in 2 seasons at Oregon State, made 1 of 10. So already probably a little uptick in the tries for her. 10 to shoot here for the Lady Jaguars. Fontenot, kick out. No space for Denaya Sanders that time, and it's turned over right to Nevaeh Tot. Out of the triple team she comes. Tot dashes into the right corner.
The Harlem Globetrotter right there.
Deep post position. Beers up strong. Count the basket. And a foul. So Reagan Beers gets that early work done, and Lidge bumped her on her way up.
Sooners are really, I mean, it is a priority trying to get the ball to the paint, either by the pass or off the dribble. And right now we're seeing Reagan Beers really duck in hard right here. And she loves that left hand over that right shoulder and wedges with her body, and just does so well at that. This isn't her first rodeo, Chad. She's done a few of those and scored those in her career.
So it was different for her at Oregon State as Williams rebounds. That shot was partially deflected by Castro. Scott Castro, who's checked in. It'll stay on this end, but a lot different. Oregon State, lots of sets. Oklahoma, a little more up and down and free-flowing under Jenny Baranczyk. So it's an adjustment for Reagan Beers, no doubt.
Well, it is. And even that possession right there, she sprinted in transition, got down there, established that position, then scored that bucket.
Jenny Baranczyk was asked, can you play with a true post player up? And she said, oh yeah, no problem. We can figure this out. Deep post position as the double arrives, then backs away. Beers over her left shoulder. Jump hook is in and out. Into the hands of Sahara Williams, and tried a little no-look pass, but Verhulst was not there in the corner, and Oklahoma turns it over.
That was, Sahara gets the offensive rebound, but Verhulst with that tap out. That's an old North Carolina Coach Dean Smith deal right there. That tap that ball out. If you can't get it, tap it out and give your teammate a chance, and that was a great job by Peyton right there.
Sooners rotate 3 in, including Liz Scott, who had shoulder surgery last November, missed all of last season. What a luxury it is to have her back in there. She was not cleared for 5-5 full contact until late September. She looks to be in great shape and 100% healthy for this final year. 3-ball on the way from Harrison and into the arms of Verhulst. Verhulst, such a versatile player, slides all the way in. That was blocked by Harrison, but Van right back up in, and a trip to the charity stripe for Skylar Van.
Chad, that is what makes the Sooners so tough to defend. That time they secured the rebound, and Peyton Verhulst goes coast to coast, makes the play, so much pressure, and right there picking up that loose change is Skylar Van, who we talked about prior to tip-off.
She was Oklahoma's first Big 12 Player of the Year in 15 seasons last year. As we said, prior to that, she was 2 times the Big 12 6th Player of the Year. But transitioning to the SEC and preseason all-conference accolades, she converts the old-fashioned three-point play. The offense has been solid. I think Jenny Baranczyk would really like the look of the defense so far. And as I say that, Tania Lawson reins in her first triple of the night.
Well, Tania Lawson, a Texas Southern transfer right there, scored 18 at Florida State while she was at TSU. So this doesn't scare her by any means. She's comfortable.
Liz Scott couldn't finish the play, and then she ran over Aaliyah Fontenot. First foul against Liz Scott so far tonight.
We talked about Lawson on that pick and pop right off that horns, and the TSU transfer doing what she does. She is a scorer now. She scored 592 points in 2 seasons. So doing what she does. Put the orange through the hole, Chad.
Yeah, that's important commodity.
Got to do that.
Sanders trying to dump it inside, and an offensive foul.
Right there on that flare screen. That was like they ran the exact same play just to the opposite side of the floor. Right off that horn screen, flare for the shooter, and that time they got a little excited right there, moving the feet, and got dinged with the foul.
Actually got that one on Sky Castro. That'll be her first, and we see Zaya Van, one of the 3 who entered the lineup for the Sooners a moment ago. Skylar Van trying to post inside. This is Zaya, the sister combination here. Zaya, Skylar, and a deuce. Love it when a plan comes together.
The Sooners are really, and that plan was to get the ball and play inside out. And right now they are taking advantage of that size in the post, and they are playing in the paint.
Couple of early buckets for Skylar Van. 9-point Oklahoma lead midway through this opening period on opening night. A little stop for Deshante Edwards. Deals it to the baseline. That runner's off the mark for Fontenot. And here comes Lexi Keys. Whipped ahead. Liz Scott sprints the floor. That was partially blocked by Lawson. Zaya Van picked it up, but then she shoveled it right to Fontenot.
You better get back in transition when you play the Sooners, Chad, because if you don't, they are going to burn you.
Harrison with a 3-ball out of the corner pocket, no good. Zaya Van attacks. Verhulst sprints to the other end and runs over a Lady Jaguar. Sanders took the bump and earned the foul for her troubles. And Peyton Verhulst will be at the line. Oklahoma sprinting out of the gates. A 9-point lead just over 5 minutes in.
Welcome to the one and only Oklahoma.
Oklahoma Sooners in the first appearance in a regular season game for the transfer from Oregon State, Reagan Beers, originally out of Littleton, Colorado, 2 years at Oregon State. She's a former McDonald's All-American as well. One of 3 former McDonald's All-Americans on this Oklahoma roster, Peyton Verhulst and Sahara Williams as well. So Reagan Beers comes in, and Jonas Chatterton also comes from Oregon State, where he was an assistant coach there, associate head coach, in fact. They made the Elite 8 last year. You see the accolades for Reagan Beers, Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, then a 3rd-team All-American. What a huge, this was the best player available in the transfer portal this year. And she came to Oklahoma to play for Jenny Baranczyk in this up-tempo, fun style that they play.
Well, I mean, Chad, she had 12 points and 15 rebounds on Tuesday night, and 3 of those on the offensive end, where we're going to see her get used to that because she averaged over 3 a game at Oregon State. And the beauty of Reagan is, as this season goes on, she's only going to get better and better, which is actually scary for the Sooner opponents, Chad.
And there's Jonas Chatterton as we talked about him just a moment ago, and Reagan Beers really just getting into the flow of things, missed almost a month of action, and Jenny Baranczyk said actually sitting helped her see things, and they want Reagan Beers to be more aggressive and more assertive. They said, we've encouraged her. That doesn't mean you're being selfish. That's good for everybody when you're assertive.
Well, she just draws so much attention, and one of the things that I think we're going to see a lot of this season, Chad, is teams are going to start game planning for Reagan Beers, and they're going to start running 2 and 3 people at her on defense, and the Sooners are going to do what they really do and shoot those threes, but they're going to be wide open.
Verhulst connecting there. Makes both free throws. Oklahoma by 11 with 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. With a handoff for Gordine. Shut down by Zaya Van. Trying to peel around, and the shot clock ranges down to 8 for the Lady Jaguars. So they get it into the hands of one of their stars. That runner is off the mark. And a tough start for Gordine so far tonight, but it's stolen back by Gordine, and she lays it up and in. No basket. They called her out of bounds down there on the end line. So wipe it away. It stays 14-3. Zyvan had that one taken away. Love to see the early hustle. Gordine and Sahara Williams get tied up. The possession arrow will go the other way.
Sahara has one speed, Chad, and it is all gas, no brakes, and that time diving in there. And there she is right there getting on the floor. First to the floor usually gets the loose ball, the old coach is saying, and that is what Zaya is going to learn, though. That's a freshman play, just a little casual with the ball, and you're out there, you're just holding it, and guess what? These young ladies will take it from you if you're not careful.
Here's Gordine. Nevaeh Tot back in guarding her, and the runner floats home off the window for Gordine.
Big time by Anaya Gordine, going left, coming back to that right hand, but don't blink, because here these Sooners come.
Gordine, the senior out of Baltimore. A good game in this building a season ago.
4 out, 1 in, working around Beers.
Beers splits that double team and scores it on the backside.
So good. And that spacing is so great. You have 4 Sooners outside beyond that three-point line. You'll even see them out beyond the NBA three-point line. And that time you just let Reagan work right there in that paint.
4 early points for Reagan Beers. Oklahoma back to the 11-point advantage as Lawson takes off. Beers there to take it away, and Top pushes. Beers putting it on the deck.
Skilled.
Plow her way in and pick up the personal foul.
So skilled right there for your 5 to be able to catch that ball in the trail spot. And this time, look at her working, just swiveling right there. I'm sorry, trying to seal, keeping her body on a body, and went out. She has such soft mitts, just caught that ball, and she has left hand over right shoulder. That time she went right hand over left shoulder, and if she gets you that deep, you are in big trouble, Chad.
Harrison picks up the foul there for the Lady Jaguars. That is her first. And Reagan Beers back to the free throw line. 63% at the stripe a season ago when she played for Oregon State.
Just something to keep an eye on. She's a walking double-double, and that ball seems to be a magnet to her mitts on that glass. And let's see how long it takes her to get up close to 10.
I'm betting mid-third quarter.
I probably would take that bet, Chad.
If not early.
I was going to say, the possessions that the Sooners play at that pace, she might get it a little earlier.
Stop and pop. This is a 2 on the way by Harrison. And they will head the other way. So Harrison, a player that can shoot it. That one a little bit off the mark as Fontenot returns for Carlos Funches. Said to him before the game, you got good feelings in this building, and Pooh, he was playing coy about that win. He said, oh no, Oklahoma's loaded.
Loaded was the word he used. He said, don't bring that up. Do not let the sleeping dog lie. Is that what he was thinking, Chad?
I think so. But they are not catching anybody off guard tonight in this building after what happened last December.
No. December 22nd, 2023.
You know, it was a real turning point for Oklahoma. That loss to Southern. They actually had 5 losses at that point, all of them to teams who had made the NCAA tournament the prior year. As Lexi Keys drills a 3 out of the deep left corner. What a luxury to have that 5th-year player coming off the bench tonight.
I'm laughing, Chad, because we talked about Lexi. We talked about Liz Scott. And in this time, this is in transition. And Beers, give her the assist anyway. Just that tip ball finds Lexi in the corner. And that is what Lexi can do. She was a 40%. I'm going to round up. She was 39, but let's call it 40.
I like it.
Players like that round up. She was a 40% three-point shooter that let them fly last year. 146 for 222. That's what she did.
Jenny Baranczyk, the fourth-year head coach of the Sooners. 3 NCAA tournaments, back-to-back Big 12 titles, and that's your 2024 Big 12 Coach of the Year. 23-plus wins all 3 seasons under Jenny Baranczyk. And just so excited about this team, all of the different pieces that she has. And I think she's excited about the defensive potential of this team as well.
I think she is. And one of the things that she talked about, and we talked about this on Tuesday, is they're going to play hard on defense, because when you look over there at that bench, if you don't, someone sitting over there is. So
that's right.
Take advantage of those minutes, because all 13 of them can play.
Oh, turnaround try in the post. And Lidge able to come through with her first of the night, 20-7 Sooners. Look at Sahara Williams serve as kind of that release valve back there to break the pressure.
So many skilled players. Here's that 4 out, 1 in. Look at 4 of those Sooners outside of that three-point line.
That ball knocked away by Edwards. Maybe Jags coming the other way. Dekiah Sanders, the Alabama State transfer. Kind of a pass-first type of point guard, runs the show for the Lady Jags. Nice rump screen inside. Fontenot got free but couldn't find the range.
Guess who got the rebound right there, Chad? Reagan Beers.
She's already up to 3. High post action here. Nice handoff. Sahara Williams gotten herself into just excellent shape. Beers foul line jumper. Williams trying to tip that and control it. And it's out of bounds. It's going to stay on this end. It went off of Edwards of Southern. And a line change for the Sooners. Liz Scott and Skylar Vann back in. We see the first appearance of Kirsten Johnson, Poon, who we saw have 16 points off the bench in Oklahoma's exhibition win over Oklahoma Christian last week.
14 minutes, Chad. Talk about efficient. 16 points, 14 minutes. And is she going to score right there?
Nearly. But that was stripped. Nicely done, taken away from behind by Jocelyn Tate, the Little Rock, Arkansas product. Shot clock is off. 15 seconds left in the opening period of the season opener here at the Lloyd Noble Center. Reed was thinking about taking it. She'll go into the post instead. Johnson maybe just whacked a little bit downward, and that will draw the foul every time. Tiana Lidge going to shoot a pair here for the Lady Jags.
And Chad, we're talking, Lidge was one of those players in here last year. She had 8 points and 8 rebounds in 24 minutes. So, again, she is not going to be shy, and she's had some good feels here in Lloyd Noble, but Sooners are definitely loaded up and coming at them on the defensive end. One of the things I did notice, though, OU right now, who is always, again, so impressive and aggressive in that assist category. 3 assists, 5 turnovers. So that's something that Coach Baranczyk is definitely going to talk to her group about.
Still working the kinks out. As that one falls away. Sooners did not get that shot away, as Van's 3 will be waved off by our referee, Demoya Pugh. She says not in time, but a good start for Skylar Vann and the Oklahoma Sooners. 10th ranked Oklahoma on top by 13 after 1 period.
What's up?
Great job with this program, and his young ladies come out and they compete and they play so hard and definitely shocked the world by beating the Sooners last year right before Christmas.
Carlos Funches played at Louisiana Monroe. He was inducted into the Louisiana Basketball Hall of Fame this year, and he won a slam dunk contest back in his playing days, an NCAA slam dunk competition back in his playing days.
It looks like he might still have a little juice left in the tank, Chad, too, when we spoke with him earlier. Hey, I will say this, too. I mentioned that prior to Christmas game, that game, I mean, that was December 22nd. Always such a tough game as a coach. You worry about it so much, and anything happens in those, Chad.
Oklahoma would go on to win 12 of their next 13 games and win a second straight Big 12 title. But Jenny Baranczyk said it wasn't like we just flipped a switch after losing that game. It took a while, but the climb started really after that game, the climb to a second Big 12 title. Look at Saya Vann.
Such a sweet move with that right hand. She's just so smooth. The other day on Tuesday night, she made so many plays. I think she had 4 points, but she had 5 assists. She just makes the game easy.
It's going to be a blocking foul. You see the quickness of Kaya Sanders there, and Van fouled her. It's another thing Jenny Baranczyk said. Everybody has trouble staying in front of this Southern team. Oklahoma did last year. They're just hard to stay in front of.
Well,
and that was a concern.
We talk, pace and space. They spread that floor, and they just drive the basketball. They have the bigs. They love to play off that elbow, that little horns, big screen. But outside of that, they just spread you and drive it, just like this.
Gordine finding enough space to launch a little jump hook that's no good. Verhulst got a piece of it. Gordine will pick it up. Lady Jags get another look at it.
First to the floor, usually gets it.
Long three, that's good. That's the second of the night. Sanaya Reed is able to catch that one in.
Sanaya Reed is that lanky guard that can play out there beyond that three-point line, and better locate her. You do not want that one to drop because your eyes light up as a shooter when you get one to fall.
Liz Scott takes off, and that's swiped away by Lidge. Lady Jags take it the other way. They've made 2 of their first 4 3-point tries. Nice little hesitation out top by Fontenot. She couldn't finish, and Verhulst claims it.
Verhulst does so much for the Sooners right there. You'll see her initiate the offense. We talked about her, Chad. 1 through 4. She can do it all.
Backdoor cut, Van. Contact underneath. That'll be an offensive foul as Fontenot takes the bump, and Skylar Van has picked up her first personal.
Fontenot is a vet player. That was actually a really good cut, but Fontenot right there kind of, I don't even call it Johnny on the spot, Janetta on the spot, I guess, right there ready. Took that thing square.
Jag on the spot.
The Jags, the Lady Jags of Southern in here competing. That's one of the things, too. Like, the Sooners got up early. They're up 12 right now, but you can't take your foot off the gas because this team is not going to stop competing and playing. We know that. We've seen them, Chad.
And defending. That's been a hallmark for Carlos Funchess over the years. That went off the mark from Reed this time. Here is Verhulst. Such a versatile player. Van lines one up. No. Rebound Beers back up and in.
Such a luxury when you have Beers down there. Over 3 offensive rebounds per game. That gives you a lot of confidence as a shooter. Let it fly. Guess what? There's a 50% chance that my big is going to get that if I don't make it.
Sometimes the best offense is a missed shot when Reagan Beers is underneath.
And that is 100% correct, Chad. It gives you the ultimate confidence. Not that the Sooners need much more, seeing how they shoot over 25 of them a game, but Skylar's going to let that fly, and that is an inside-out wedge offensive rebound. You notice I said inside. Reagan drives that player out from under the basket, inside out, offensive board right there. Easy deuce for the Sooners.
We called an illegal screen there on Tanaya Lawson of Southern. So the Sooners the other way. Zion Van, the top recruit coming out of the state of Oklahoma a year ago after winning another high school state title at Bethany High School. And look at the explosion in Sahara Williams.
Just looks such like in great shape. So active, gets 2 offensive rebounds a game. And I always say, Chad, offensive rebounds, that's an effort stat, and Sahara plays so hard. That's why she's above 2 offensive boards.
Backdoor cut. Williams loops it up and in off a beautiful find from Beers.
Give Sahara the basket, but give Reagan Beers all the credit by dropping the dime right there and spoon feeding Sahara on the way to the cup.
Largest lead of the evening for Oklahoma, 18 points, and a timeout taken by Southern head coach Carlos Funchess. 6:29 to play in the first half. It'll be a full timeout from the Lloyd Noble Center. Oklahoma's offense in high gear, though, Pooh.
I mean, getting downhill, and we talked about those offensive boards. That time it was Sahara. Earlier we saw Reagan, and this is a dime right there by Beers. Sooners up 18 headed to the break. Right now is stellar. I always say they're pulling the nails out of the floor right now on the defensive end. They are competing on that side of the ball.
And Jenny Baranczyk has said it several times to us and certainly imparted it thousands more times to her players, and that is go hard while you're in and then come get some rest. We've got somebody else that can go in for a bit. But Reagan Beers is going to be on the floor a bunch for this team. Already 7 points, 4 rebounds, and she's only played 9 minutes.
And the beauty of the Sooners roster, Chad, they love, we've talked about Southern loving that elbow post screen right there, but Sooners have so many players where the game just comes easy to them. And that is a good thing. If you're a coach, you don't mind that.
Sinai Reed almost lost it out of bounds. This is a two-pointer for Fontenot. It's in and out, no good. Beers grabs another. Sahara Williams lines one up. She's worked hard on that area of her game. Traffic the other way, and we'll have a foul underneath. And a hobbling out of the pack there is Harrison. See who the Oklahoma foul is against.
Chad, that's one of those things early, just something very simple, but that shot, Sahara, she got it in rhythm. It was a great on-the-money pass, but Peyton Verhulst made that entire play. And they got Sahara got a little excited right there. You extend those arms, they usually ding you.
So Sahara Williams with the first personal.
Head and eyes up again. We talked about just makes the game easy. Peyton Verhulst
knocked away. Verhulst right there once again. Oklahoma shooting 50% in the first half. Southern just 22%. That Van attempt, though, is blocked as Harrison got a hand on top of the ball. Hesitation out top. Blow by Fontenot. Scores it.
It's a great hesitation dribble right there by Fontenot. Head and eyes up. Speaking of head and eyes up, when does Nevaeh Tot not have her eyes up?
Van off the mark. Long rebound. Beers goes crashing into the Southern bench. Trying to save that one. Looks like everybody's okay over there.
Someone was trying to take a charge. Couldn't see. Let's see who that is. Oh, and didn't see it either. That was a no-look charge right there, Chad. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that right there either.
Sometimes I'd rather not even see it come. The anticipation is the hardest part.
That is saying something right there. Not that I took very many charges in my playing days, but I definitely couldn't take one these days.
You'd say Tubby Smith might say that you got 4 years of defensive eligibility still left.
I definitely charge taking eligibility.
Nice knock away by Beers from behind. And here comes Williams. Behind the back dribble.
Sooners always dialed in, looking at that post right here. Look at him.
A touch pass in. Williams backs her way down and scores just physically too much inside.
So strong, Chad. I mean, that was a great pass by Lexi Keys, and Sahara just using her body, getting that right hand and over that left shoulder, and high and soft gives you a chance to put it in the hole.
That's 8 for Sahara Williams in the opening half. Gordine got shut down. This 3 is off the mark from Fontenot.
I feel like the Sooners defense right now, as we get this foul, but it has Southern just a little sped up, Chad. When you watch them on that offensive end, the Sooners have them sped up, and credit that defense by the Sooners.
You think of the maturation of Sahara Williams. We were watching the video of these two teams' game a year ago, and Sahara Williams was still really trying to figure it out. And what a great job she's done in the offseason, getting herself into the kind of shape and physicality to play at this level. Super talented player, but Boo, she's almost 180 degrees from what she was a season ago at this time.
No, without a question. And you know what that is, though, maturity, Chad, because she had a couple defensive plays at the end of that game that, looked like a freshman. Now she's a sophomore, and she's making sophomore plays, and she's in such better shape that the sky is the limit for that sophomore.
And, I mean, she's posting hard inside right now. Picks up a foul on Deshante Edwards.
So physical. That's the one thing, talking to Coach Baranczyk, she talked about Sahara and Liz Scott. They bring a physicality and an edge to this group that they might have been lacking a little bit a season ago.
One thing, and Jenny Baranczyk talked about it, is Sahara Williams has forced everyone to elevate their level in practice. She goes hard at all times.
Well, and if you do not, then you look bad. I mean, you don't, that pride as a player, she makes you lift your game.
Fontenot misfires there, and Nevaeh Tot has the rebound.
Fontenot has a good-looking stroke. You see how she can get heated up and make 6 in a game.
Tot trying to loop it inside, and that'll be out of bounds against Oklahoma. That is the Sooners' 10th turnover. So they continue to guard, as Southern has been able to make just one of its last 8 from the field.
Now, Chad, what did we talk about, those different lineups in the open? Now, this time you have Beatrice Culleton and Reagan Beers in together with Peyton Verhulst, who's another 6'1", 6'2" player that's out there as the small forward or at the 3 spot. So this is the bigger lineup that we talked about. She can go small. You can put a big lineup in. You have a switch everything lineup where you have KJ at the 5. So a lot of things you can play with if you're the head coach, Jennie Baranczyk, here for the Sooners.
She is no longer the tallest one in practice, something that Coach Jennie Baranczyk has talked about. Yeah, it's tough when the coach is the tallest one we got. 6'4", 6'3", and 6'1" on the floor for Oklahoma right now. Dribble penetration by Sanders that creates the look inside. They get that foul on Zion Fan. That'll be 2 on Zion.
And then, Chad, as I look out here, then you have 2 point guards because, I mean, Lexi Keys is obviously a really good shooter that made 57 threes last year, but she's a combo point guard. She's been in, 5 years in college. And Zion Fan, who just went out, is replaced by Raina Scott, another point guard. And go ahead and put Peyton Verhulst point forward, does it all, 1 through 4. You just have so many things that you can do, and it makes you smile as a coach.
Here's the really hard part about Oklahoma. Number one, the scouting report in the pregame, you better arrive early so you can write them all on the whiteboard. They have a deep roster full of versatile players. I mean, Culleton into Beers, you got 6'3" thrown to 6'4" for the bucket.
I mean, what did I say about that? A full house? You said only one thing beats a full house. I don't know much about
Royal flush.
It's going to take a royal flush.
Not that I really know, but I've heard.
It's going to take that to beat these Sooners, Chad.
Kellerton picks that one up. That dribble was just lost by Fontenot. You mentioned Raina Scott is in the game. And now trying to return the favor is Beers, but there to spoil the party is Jocelyn Tate for Southern. 2:40 to play in the first half. The Oklahoma lead is 19 points. This is the largest advantage of the night. Lexi Keys with the takeaway. She led Oklahoma in steals last year. Verhulst lines it up. That's poked out by Raina Scott, and a reset here for Keys.
If you can't grab it, that's what you do, Chad. You tap it out, and that is, I'm going to say it again, a Coach Dean Smith, Carolina staple.
Beers, and that one poked away. Really physical, and too physical from behind was Beers as she bumped into Lidge, who had gotten the steal.
Well, if you're Lexi Keys on that one, being up around the top of the key, you need Beers to drive that defender up the lane and give you room, because that's not the time. Usually you post speed from foul line extended or below. When you're above, you better either see her numbers or she better drive her all the way up the lane. That way you have plenty of space. So that time, that was kind of that no man's land in between, and it usually leads to that turnover.
Oklahoma is a plus 17 on the boards in this game. They lead it by 19 with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Little handoff for Micaiah Sanders. Curling toward the rim is Harrison, but that's off the mark. And Culleton tried to dump that down to Beers and nearly went in the basket.
Oh, it went in.
No, it did go in. But wipe it off. Jennie Baranczyk saying count it. The shot went up before the foul occurred. Let's see. Let's see.
This is one heck of it. Can you get 2 points and an assist for the same thing? Because that time she was looking to pass, but she passed it right through the hoop.
So Demoya Pugh, Deanna Jackson, Brian Interline are headed over to the table. And Demoya Pugh is our referee. They're going to adjudicate this. So did the release occur before the foul occurred?
And if so, that basket, Coach Baranczyk, I do believe is correct. You would count the basket.
And then are we going to have a foul while the ball was in flight too?
Foul, and then the Sooners should have the ball out. I'm not sure if it's underneath the side. I'm assuming side out, but we will see. I say that. The foul was down low, so it will be underneath out of bounds.
I'm glad I'm not having to adjudicate this. We'll look at it again.
Okay, now when was the foul called? You see the arm wrap right there by Lidge. Kind of curled in there, tied up, but I guess it depends. I didn't see it then when the arm goes up and when the whistle was blown. Here we go. Let's see.
The replay, the basket is good. We have a defensive foul on blue 21. White 52 is going to shoot 2 shots for the bonus.
It is just as you predicted.
Except I did not take into consideration they're in the double bonus now.
Southern's over the limit.
Yes, so now Yes, you see the grab, count the basket, and I do believe she's going to shoot 2.
Yeah.
In the NBA, you would shoot 1.
So we're going to get the full explanation for Brandon Interline. We appreciate him coming over, but you can hear Demoya Pugh say the bucket is good for 0 of Oklahoma, so count the 2. And Reagan Beers was held inside. She will shoot 2 as Southern is over the 5-foul limit here. Ever seen that? You stick around this game long enough, you'll see something you've never seen.
And the beauty of that is chalk it up, give Beatrice Cullerton the basket, and not often do you try to get an assist and you end up getting 2 points out of it, Chad. Oh, wait a minute. That's only 4.
It's
okay.
only 4.
There we go.
So Southern is not over the 5-foul limit. So they did just signal to us, nope, we were a little off on that one.
Baseline out of bounds. So we did get it right, Chad. It took us a little while, but here we are.
Sahara Williams loses it, but right to Liz Scott. Keys lines up a 3. Verhulst plucks it out of the air and lays it in.
Plucking it is a great call, Chad. She reached back and kind of Odell Beckham Jr. that bad boy, and next thing you know, you got a layup.
So Peyton Verhulst with her second bucket. Oklahoma by 23. This is a far cry from the close game between these teams a season ago. Scott trying to move over, but was shuffling her feet as Lawson ran into her.
Lawson definitely initiated the contact. Let's see this OBJ right here, though. And the long shot produces a long rebound and reach back, get it. And sometimes effort, you're rewarded. When you play hard, you get rewarded. And going to the offensive glass is a skill. You hear so many times that shot goes up, people just jog back. It's just habit. But you go, you get rewarded, Chad. Just takes effort to go.
Effort is a skill, right?
It is. It used to be, but it is these days. It used to be just understood, but it is now a skill.
Harrison converts both free throws. 36-15. Sooners on top. A minute left in the opening half. This is the first of 2 games here at the Lloyd Noble Center today. Porter Moser and his Sooner men will open up an hour after this one is done. They'll take on Lindenwood. We'll be back to call it on SEC Network Plus for you. Looking forward to seeing Coach Moser's Sooners, and the crowd will just hang around, and we'll add a few more before the night's over with.
That is just a strong move right there by Sahara, going at the young freshman, and Jocelyn Tate that time kind of said, what did I do? Just a little bit coming down on that arm, got her, but not bad defense by the young freshman.
First foul on Tate. Sahara Williams back to that free throw line. Approaching double figures. She has 9 points and 4 rebounds in the opening half, and now she does become the first player into double figures with 10.
The Sooners just come at you in waves, Chad. I mean, it could be, we saw Peyton Verhulst the other night get hot and have like 9 points in about 90 seconds, so you just never know.
3 is 2-pointer, I should say. It's off the mark from Harrison. It'll stay on this end, though.
Reset to 20 right here, so keep an eye. Sooners should get the last crack at it. That's if you first shot rebound, which they've done a really good job tonight. And look for the Jags to kind of work this and try to get the shot that Coach Funches wants.
Jocelyn Tate, Little Rock, Arkansas product. Little square and fire that's no good.
Sooners going to take the last one. You saw Coach Baranczyk say, hold up, we play fast, but let's be smart right here and put the ball in Raina Scott's hands and let her kind of direct traffic.
Liz Scott holstered the dribble, needed some help. Sahara Williams takes off and banks it home to close the half. And what a half for the 10th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners, with Sahara Williams leading the charge. She has a dozen. Southern did not score for the final 5.5 minutes of the half, and it's a 25-point lead at the break. Oklahoma looking very much starting 5 there with Gordine, Sanders, Lawson, and Lynch to get things going here for Southern. Lynch to the backdoor cutter and the easy lay-in to start things. So that's a good start for Gordine.
Gordine off that back screen right there, and Lidge did a really good job throwing that hook pass and added another turnover to the Sooners number.
That's Sanaya Reed with the steal and 2 more. So the first 4 points of half number 2 belong to the Lady Jags.
And that was quick too, Chad. I mean, they're doing a good job right there. Lidge fronting the post, battling right now with Beers. And Sooners, you got to get the ball up on the glass because they are definitely advantage offensive rebound. Can't turn it over.
Cash from the left wing for Sahara Williams, who has 15.
Well, you don't throw it to the other team, just throw it at the basket right there, Sahara. She learned a lesson from that first possession, and that time in rhythm, definitely put time and effort into shooting that 3, and that looked very comfortable.
It did, an area that she has really worked hard on, and Jenny Baranczyk said the most important thing, don't rush it. That looked in rhythm. Runner a little too strong out of the hand of Fontenot, and another rebound for Reagan Beers. That is 6 rebounds and 9 points. Well on her way to a double-double.
Is she walking, Chad? Because if she's walking, she's on her way to a double-double. She's the walking double-double for the Sooners.
Averaged 1 a season ago at Oregon State. Verhulst a little short with that one. Retrieved by Fontenot. She'll wait on a little help. Nope, she will go. 1-on-1 against Nevaeh Tot. And the runner won't go. Deep post position. Van, that's easy money.
At that time, if you're Lidge, I mean, you cannot let Skylar get you on her hip like that. She gets you that deep. Turn out the lights, Chad, because that is it. She is going to score.
Now, Lidge is playing with 2 fouls. 4 Lady Jaguars have 2 fouls. So Lidge choosing not to pick up the 3rd. Too strong out of the hands of Gordine. And Nevaeh Tot on the attack for the Sooners. Van posts, double teamed. She'll put it on the deck. The step through got stripped, and a held ball as Gordine tied up Van.
Tell you what, we talked about it. That's the one thing now. These Lady Jags are not gonna let up. Now they're gonna compete, they're gonna defend, and that time they got Skylar down on the baseline and tied her up, and a lot of hands. Got physical.
Beers, beautiful little drop step, but couldn't finish it. That's padding the stats right there. Get the rebound, put it back up and in.
I say this, Chad, and I'm assuming that Reagan Beers probably has no idea who Moses Malone is, but that's the old Moses Malone. You miss it a couple times, so you get it back, get that offensive rebound and number up.
Reed off the mark with that one. And another rebound by Beers. 7-0 Oklahoma run after Southern scored the first 2 buckets of this half. Beers has 11 points, 7 rebounds, and a foul underneath. He gets Sahara Williams for being too aggressive. Nope, 3 seconds in the lane against Sahara Williams.
Yep, they got her in there. She was ducking in right out of transition, that early offense, and got down there a little early, and they got her with the 3 in the paint. This is a nice move, great patience. You always hear pause for poise in the post, and Reagan is just a natural at that. She catches it and takes her time. Pause for poise in the post. A lot of P's there, Chad.
I like it. Alliteration. Short that time from Sanders. Sahara Williams lines up another. Beers right there to collect it and put it back up and in. 13 points and 9 rebounds for Reagan Beers.
She is going to go to the glass. That is what she does. 9 boards right now. We said about midway through the 3rd quarter. She's going to have that double-double, Chad.
She pokes that ball away. Sahara Williams just looking for room. Through the hands of Van. Was it touched by a Lady Jaguar?
I can't. This is the thing right here after we watch this right here. Again, you have a lot of confidence to let it fly when you know 52's out there. But that was Sahara probably took 1 extra dribble right there, Chad. She had Skylar probably 1 dribble prior, and just that extra bounce let the defender get there and recover.
A foul off the ball. Beers wrestling for position in the post. They'll get that one on Castro.
Yeah,
that's 2 on Castro.
Physical, Chad. Physical. When you're guarding Reagan Beers, I mean, you better pack a lunch and get your ankles taped extra tight because she's going to come at you every possession. You know what you're in for.
Beers takes a hard tumble, fouled on her way up. It's a 9-0 Oklahoma run. Southern has missed its last 5 from the field. And it's a near 3.5-minute scoring drought. That's allowed Oklahoma to pull away.
It's that great job, that high-low right off that left elbow. Skylar Vann just willed. She knows, again, if you can see that 5-2 on Reagan's jersey, she's open. And that time Skylar turned, saw the 5-2. Defender on your back, you're in trouble when you're playing these Sooners, Chad. So many bodies. I mean, think about, look at this lineup right now. With the exception of Nevaeh Tot, you can will any of them into that post, and any of the others can step out and make a 3.
That's
so,
true.
I mean, you have 4 potential post players and actually 4 perimeter players at the same time.
And probably 3 players who could run the point right now. I mean, Sahara Williams has shown she's capable.
Without a question.
So many pieces and so much versatility.
They just come at you in waves. Great pass right there.
Gordine with the great feed, as you said. And Porter got fouled.
Gordine with that hook pass, with that hard right-hand drive. Just that hook pass, and here comes 2 combo/point guards in right now. And a post player that played and started 33 games 2 years ago, Chad. I mean, you got them coming. The Sooners they just keep coming at you in waves.
Oklahoma returns 98% of its scoring from a year ago as a little baseline jumper good by Gordine. 98%, and then you add Beers to the mix.
And by the way, too, as a coach, those drive you nuts because you spend all that time in walkthroughs guarding out-of-bounds plays, and when the team scores on you, it just drives you crazy, Chad.
Zia Vann back in there. There's Williams flashing and scoring again. She's got 17 points.
Zia Vann just makes the game easy for her teammates. She spoon feeds you. And Chad, I want to add to that 98% of their scoring from last season. They have over 700 combined career games played on this roster. Think about that. I mean, over 700 games played. And again, we talked about this on Tuesday night. So much of that is everyone came back, Chad. Simple play by Zia Vann, but head and eyes are always up. And Sahara, if she gets it in there, she is going to score to the tune of 17 points right now.
They had an illegal screen there against Amaya Porter of Southern. Sahara Williams again. I mean, she's right under the bucket. She's inside the restricted area mark.
And she gets you that deep, just, again, hit the lights, Chad. Turn them out, because she is going to score, and they missed her right there. Skylar Sahara leaked out and may have had a chance to get another bucket.
Skylar Vann got fouled in the backcourt that time by Tate. And we hit a timeout. Oklahoma led by 25 at the break. They've extended it to 34 now.
They have their foot on the gas, and give Zia Vann another assist right there. Sahara, she gets you right there. Lights out, Chad. Sooners up 34.
Scored 15-2 over the last 4 minutes and 20. They were there for Nevaeh Tot over on the bench. Kirsten Johnson has entered the Oklahoma lineup with Liz Scott. Zia Vann out front now. Underneath this, Liz Scott is posting. Foul against Amaya Porter, Southern.
We talked about that physicality that both Liz Scott and Sahara both bring, and that is team foul number 5. So Liz will be shooting 2 right here, but she just, I mean, she is going to battle you in that point, in that post and in that paint, and you're going to have to step up and try to play without fouling, because she's not going to stop. She'll do the exact same thing next possession. If she's not, then Sahara Williams will.
There's 2 fouls on Porter. Liz Scott was a 61% free throw shooter when last she played 2 seasons ago. She's able to cash in 1 of 2. She averaged nearly 9 points and 6 rebounds per game. That was 2022-2023. Then missed all of last season after undergoing shoulder surgery. Was such a huge part of this Oklahoma team, though, at practice every day, motivating, encouraging. Had a whistle in practice.
Working in that post again.
One of the rare times the shot clock will trickle down on Oklahoma As Williams misfires on that one, little short. Gordine, another rebound for Southern. It's a 16-2 Oklahoma run over the last 5 minutes.
Well, the Sooners, they just space that floor right now with this lineup with no Reagan Beers. They're taking turns, both Liz and Sahara, at being the one that gets in that post, and KJ can do it as well. And they are just pounding that ball in the paint right now against the Jags.
10 to shoot for Southern. A leaner that rims out. Jocelyn Tate off the mark with that one. Long hit ahead. Johnson running the floor. Fouled hard from behind by Deshante Edwards.
Good pitch ahead right there, Chad. We always talk about Kirsten Johnson and her ability to get out and sprint the floor. And that time, Sahara with the pass. And KJ's going to get out when she starts running. What do you say, Chad? She can beat the point guards up the floor now.
She can, without question. Pull off the mark with that one. 35-point Oklahoma lead. Kirsten Johnson, the junior from Duncanville, Texas High School.
She was a 68% foul shooter. I think I said this last year, and I'll say it again. Whenever she steps up, kind of her stance, and she dribbles with her left hand, I always think she's a lefty about to shoot the free throw, and we'll see it right here when she, although we're getting a little tape on Sahara over there. Was it blood?
Brittany Beaver over there taking care of blood, it looks like, on the right leg, right thigh of Sahara Williams. And Johnson cashes in the second. Certainly had her moments in her Sooner career. She had a 20-point game against Baylor last year as Oklahoma was making their run to a second consecutive Big 12 title.
Well, you and I saw that, Chad, sitting right here. I remember that. And I don't know if she broke a sweat that night. She had 20, and Baylor was a top 25 team at the time.
That foul is on Lexi Keys, her first.
That is definitely a luxury to have, a player that, you know, KJ played 11 minutes a game and still averaged over 1 block a game.
$15 to shoot here for the Lady Jags. They get it to Fontenot.
Short clock, and you said it earlier. We haven't said that many times tonight, Chad.
Under 5 to get a shot away. Runner from Edwards is off the mark. Put back up and in just ahead of the horn, and they will count it. Demaya Porter scores.
Might go back and take a look. I do think she got that off, though.
Physicality inside. Liz Scott going back and forth with Porter, who just scored on the other end. And now Porter picks up the personal. That's her third.
Let's take a look at this offensive rebound. We didn't see the light, but I'm going to say with my officiating hat, chalk it up. Count it, Chad.
So Liz Scott will go to the free throw line here for Oklahoma.
Just brings a different edge. I mean, a different toughness, a different level of physicality that Liz Scott, who's been around the block a couple of times, and she knows how to get in there and throw her body around. And Sahara Williams is learning, you know, day to day. She's getting better and better at that. And those are the two names that Coach Baranczyk talks about the most when she talks about just a new look to this team. They bring something different, a little different level of oomph when they get in the game.
And Scott out. Beatrice Culleton returns for Oklahoma with under 3 minutes left here in this third period. Opening night for teams all over the country. SEC teams in action.
Sooners like this look. They have the 2-point guards in, and again, this time it's Culleton, Beers, and KJ. You got length and size, and KJ can guard 1 through 5, and you have the 2 post players out there together. This is that big lineup that Coach Baranczyk likes.
Fontenot earns a trip to the foul line. She shot 74% at the line a season ago. That foul is on Keys. That's 2 on Lexi Keys.
Yeah, that time she had her right shoulder. You got to open a little bit and turn your body, and that time she opened the gate and got herself in trouble.
You start to talk on opening night about the SEC, Oklahoma's first season in the SEC. And Jenny Baranczyk was asked about the difficulty of a new league. Oklahoma, hey, back-to-back champions to close out their stint in the Big 12. But she said, I'll put it to you this way. We are number 10 in the country, and we're picked 4th in the conference. There are 7 SEC teams in the top 25. Of course, you got Dawn Staley's defending champion South Carolina Gamecocks, and then you throw Texas into the mix, and they shared record-wise the regular season title with Oklahoma in the Big 12 last year.
And then the national champs from 2 years ago, the LSU Tigers, Chad.
That's
so,
right.
Welcome to the SEC.
Zia Van off target with her 3. Culleton back up. No, she'll get it again. Blocked, but a foul call.
I mean, just look at what the Sooners can do right now. Now we have Culleton, Beers, KJ, and Verhulst as the Sooners are subbing right now, so they'll take a little bit of that size out, but they just can come at you in waves, Chad.
You know, and not just the waves, but as Oklahoma substitutes, you've got decisions to make on who's going to guard who. It's not simple, you know, because the players are so interchangeable. It's hard to know who you want to put up against them defensively.
Well, then all of a sudden, too, to add to that, okay, all of a sudden, Peyton Verhulst is now the 3. No, she might be the 2. Oh, she can play the 4. And so as a player and as a coach, it drives you nuts because guess what? Players have to communicate, and guess what players don't do a lot, Jack? Communicate. So the Sooners put pressure on you with that.
They do. It's just usually by text message or TikTok.
So true.
Nice shovel inside, and that rims in and out. Harrison unable to cash in a beautiful feed. Verhulst will pull the trigger. A step in 3. No. Culleton retrieves. Verhulst says, why not again? That's a tough bounce. I mean, this is your home rim. You're supposed to get that bounce at the LNC.
That's
right?
like, yeah, you know, you're shooting in your backyard. You know all the spots and know where to go, and that's what Peyton Verhulst, being a 35% three-point shooter that let over 5 of them fly last year. So she's used to seeing those go in, Chad.
So Reagan Beers at the free throw line. And that's off. She does have a double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds. She may have more double-doubles at the Lloyd Noble Center, the most since number 3 was running up and down the court. That is the great Courtney Paris, whose jersey is retired. Courtney Paris had 128 double-doubles, Pooh. 112 in a row. 112 in a row, double-double.
So she literally was a walking double-double. That's Tim Duncan-esque right there.
A pull up and pop here by Harrison. Drops. Out of bounds it goes. Sooners will take it. So not the result Harrison was looking for, but got a little rub screen there and able to get an open look. 60-25 with under 2 left. Beers just piling up the points now.
If she gets you that deep, Chad, and she just uses her body and creates an angle, and it's tough to say don't give her an angle because she can just pull that ball out and go right hand over left shoulder. She can go left hand over right shoulder, and she uses her body so well. I mean, you're at her mercy.
Yeah. Which side would you play her?
You know what? It's easier said
The
than
front
done.
side. Keep her from getting
I was
it.
going to say easier said than done. Don't let her get the ball because if she does, you're in trouble. And that's another element that she brings to the Sooners, that rim protection. She had 3 blocks on Tuesday night, and here she goes right here. Just great timing. And that time, the old sneak right there with the right hand on the left side. And Fontenot got it rejected, trying to get the old sneak layup.
Beers blocked 39 shots a season ago at Oregon State.
Short clock.
It's getting late. 5 to shoot. Fontenot will do it herself. Over Beers is able to rain that one home.
That was a nice little running sky hook right there off the bounce. And here they come again.
6 for Fontenot. Good job fighting through that screen. Shante Edwards playing good defense. Aubrey Jones is off the mark. Skipping in to take it, though, is Verhulst for the Sooner reset. She'll give a 3 a try. She's missed her last 3. Look at Culleton wrangle another board, and Oklahoma gets another look.
One shot right here, as Coach is saying, Baranchek.
They are plus 29 on the boards tonight.
5-second differential right here from the shot clock to the game clock.
Ooh, I love the defense DeShante Edwards is playing. I mean, she is giving it max effort. She forces that turnover. I mean, her team is down 35 on the road, and she's still competing.
That is why they will have a chance when SWAC play starts. They were picked second for a reason, and we know that, the tough thing about it is they have 9 seconds to score. They have to pay the bills, Chad, and we'll talk about that when we come back.
Anaya Gordine with one last look, and Beers says, nope, it's not going to be a look. And that'll do it through 3.
We got a foul here, though. We got
You're right.
one, a late one.
Brandon Interline stepped in and got the foul call from Demoy Pugh underneath, I believe. Going to look at the clock just to make sure that the attempt came before time expired here, Pooh.
Yes, you are exactly right. When you say that, Chad, they're going to go take a peek at it. Let's take a look and see what we can see. Another nice block. And I'll tell you what Reagan Beers is really doing, Chad. Playing great defense and rim protecting right there with the pitch without fouling.
Well, board, but they're adjudicating it right now. Going to see whether or not the foul occurred before time expired. The night for Reagan Beers, it is her first official double-double as an Oklahoma Sooner. She had one in exhibition play last week. 2 blocks, 10 rebounds, and 18 points for Beers tonight in 21 minutes. And all smiles in her Sooner debut. And Jenny Baranczyk said this, we'll look.
Here we go.
Be able to see the broad view.
Oh, yes. That's a foul.
That's going to be free throws.
Yep. Prior to the end of the quarter there.
Jenny Baranczyk said of Reagan Beers, she said, I think that when they found out that Reagan Beers was coming, Peyton Verhulst and Skylar Van had her apartment all ready by the time she got to town.
We're going to put 0.5 back on the clock. 0.5.
Tell you what, Chad said all smiles. I tell you what, if you're coaching Reagan Beers.
Foul is on 0 prior to the clock going to 0, so 0.5 on the clock.
You would be smiling as well, my friend. You and I both. She can bring a smile to your face when you have a walking double-double. That is getting better and better on the defensive end as well, too.
So you see the foul is on Culleton. And as we heard from Demoy Pugh, it'll be 0.5 on the clock. And 2 free throws for Lawson, Capitol Heights, Maryland product. And a transfer from Texas Southern. Averaged 11 points per game at Texas Southern a season ago.
Scored a lot of points in those 2 years, Chad. At 592, she's used to scoring buckets.
And she does so right there to close the quarter for the Lady Jaguars. But it's all Oklahoma, 62-30. The 10th-ranked Sooners lead it, headed to the 4th in the season opener at the Lloyd Noble Center on SEC Network Plus. Teams ranked in the preseason top 25. ACC and Big Ten have 6 apiece, and the Big 12 with 4. The Sooners leading by 33 in their SEC debut. This non-conference play. But Jenny Baranczyk's team picked 4th in the SEC preseason poll behind South Carolina, Texas, and LSU. See Ole Miss, Kentucky, Alabama as well.
It's a lot of really good teams, and I was just looking at that during the break, Chad. The Sooners are going to start their first, not to get ahead of ourselves, the first SEC game is against a familiar foe, though. The Longhorns from Austin, Texas.
What a battle that's going to be.
They've done that a few times, haven't they?
Rory Harmon back for Texas this year to go with Madison Booker, the preseason player of the year. Nice little lefty drop over the top that time. There are some pieces on this team as Lidge goes about 6'4", and that height is to be reckoned with when you get into SWAC play. As we said, she had 8 points and 8 rebounds against Oklahoma in this building last year.
She did, and I mean, that was a great-looking shot. Just took her time and turned around and shot it in rhythm. And I tell you what, when they start in January playing conference games, man, look out.
Williams off the mark with that 3 try.
See why they were picked 2nd in the league. Grambling must be really good, though, because they got the nod. Lidge back at you with a little dream shake.
Look at Sahara Williams running the floor. Surrounded and ripped away from her. Lawson able to avoid Beers, but you never really do avoid her. That's a nice steal on the backside by Gordine. She'll pull it back out. Gordine over the top of Totten. Verhulst scrapes the rebound for Oklahoma.
Number 9 right there for Peyton Verhulst on the glass.
Hasn't been her most effective scoring night, but she does so many other things. 9 boards, 3 assists. Push from behind against, who did they get? Skylar Van?
Skylar. I tell you what, I'm so sorry, Chad, excuse me, but sometimes as a player, you have, Peyton made 3 threes in a row on Tuesday night, and the rim looks so big, and right now she's just fighting her way through it, but she's 1 for 8 from the field, and just sometimes you have these nights, but she's going to have a lot more nights, though, that are the complete 180 opposite, and the rim will be like a ocean, but tonight is kind of like the creek right down the street, right?
A little more so. Lynch is starting to get cooking now for the Southern team here in the final period. Got 2 buckets, 6 points on the night.
I like Liz. She's got that nice, smooth lefty game. And I talked about the Dream Shake. She's originally from El Paso. I was going to say, you think she has any idea who Hakeem the Dream is? But
she's going to have to YouTube that one probably. Beers frees herself and converts again. She's got 20.
Let me make a statement here, and that time the Sooners just dodged a bullet. A lot of times you tell those post players to give up position for possession, and that time Beers waited, and just that help side defense was just a little bit late. So give Skylar the assist and give Beers another bucket.
Fontenot a little strong with it. Skylar Van up to claim it for Oklahoma. Sooners 46-14 on the boards tonight.
How about that baseline whip pass right there by Peyton Verhulst? We're talking about her shooting the ball tonight, but you said it best, Chad. It doesn't stop her floor game. She just makes plays, and there's that help side defense just a little late, and you like for that post player to give up position for possession, but when it's going, Chad.
Fontenot picks up her first foul. Each team with 1 team foul here in this final period. Right back in it goes. Sahara Williams caught that ball and then whipped it inside in a split second to Beers.
Tiana Lidge is just fighting for her life down there, Chad. And I mean, again, you better pack a lunch and you better get your ankles taped extra tight, because not one possession is Reagan Beers or Liz Scott or Sahara Williams. I mean, put Skylar Van on that list. They are going to battle in that paint, and they're going to make you. That's kind of like a player you hate as a perimeter defender, a guy that just doesn't stop. He comes at you every possession. Those 4 can do it to you in the post, though. They're going to just keep ducking in and keep their body on you, and at some point, man, it just wears you out. It's like getting jabbed by a boxer.
21 tonight for Reagan Beers, 12 rebounds, 2 block shots. 3 minutes into the 4th, it has long since been decided. Might have gotten away with a little double dribble there. Lidge off the mark this time.
I like Tiana Lidge, though.
Oh, look at a beautiful bounce pass from Verhulst, and Zaya Van with a conversion.
Okay, who was that bounce pass to, though, Chad? Zaya Van?
Zaya Van, I saw it. She caught it.
That was a great head and eyes up, and give Peyton Verhulst the assist. She does it all.
4 assists for her tonight. That 3 off the mark from Harrison. And here comes Zaya Van.
Again, look, watch Reagan Beers. She is not going to take a possession off.
Van's 3 skips off the rim.
This is so good for Reagan Beers, Chad, because, I mean, she's going to keep going and keep playing right now. She's at 25 minutes. And the better shape she gets in, the better player she is going to become for the Sooners. And that's saying a lot, because she's pretty darn good right now.
Nice. Sanders misfires there. Oklahoma not backing off the tempo. Verhulst finds a little bit of a seam. Sahara Williams lines up a 3. Stroke looks good, but it's only fallen once in 4 tries tonight. And a timeout. Everybody may just need a breather. 5:41 to play in this one. Timeout taken here by Carlos Funches. Peyton Verhulst, beautiful long lead bounce pass, and Zaya Van on the receiving end. No doubt many double-doubles for Reagan Beers as an Oklahoma Sooner. This is her first game in Norman in the regular season. 21 points, 14 rebounds. She's made 8 of 11 from the field. Doing it on the defensive end tonight is Reagan Beers. Once again, she's added 2 block shots to go along with those numbers.
Well, Chad, this is what we kept talking about. She played about 28 minutes a game last year at Oregon State. But it was a different game. They played a lot in the half court, so the game was less possessions, a little slower. She's at 25 minutes so far tonight, but that 25 is a little different than the 28 that she played in Corvallis. And the better shape she continues to get into, which she will, I can't wait to see where she ends up come February.
31st career double-double in her collegiate career overall. She had 18 last year at Oregon State. She was the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year 2 years ago. Reagan Beers debuting in excellent fashion for Jennie Baranczyk's Oklahoma Sooners tonight.
You know something else she does too, Chad? We talk about how much pressure she puts on your defense. She's attempted 9 free throws so far tonight. She only shot about 5.1 last year at Oregon State. So that's another thing. These possessions, the higher possessions, that number's going to stay up around that. I would probably say 7 or 8 free throws a game she'll get this year.
Shot clock is at 5. Fontenot's going to have to get one up. She does. And that'll be a shot clock violation. Oklahoma's defense holding Southern to 23% shooting. And they, of course, now 10 turnovers.
Well, when you have that lineup, as I look over at that Sooner bench right now, there's so many good players that are on the floor right now, and so many other good players that are sitting over there on that bench. So you better dig in on defense, because if you don't, Coach Baranczyk can put someone out there that will.
Midway through the fourth, it is all Oklahoma. 34-point lead for the Sooners in the season opener. It's Liz Scott, beautiful drop step, and converts it with a foul.
That is just a big-time move by a veteran player. Drive it hard left, get into her body, spin off of her, and then get it up on the glass and give yourself a chance for a three-point play.
Sooner fans and teammates have been waiting to see that delivery after missing all of last season. Liz Scott produces.
Big time. Just muscled it in the basket there, Chad. Sooners are up 36.
Well, 10th ranked Oklahoma with a big one coming up on Friday night as they will take on the Virginia Cavaliers out of the ACC. Back for Western Carolina. Road trip up to Wichita on the 19th. And then they are headed out for their holiday tournament in Las Vegas. They're going to go play UNLV. That is not part of the holiday tournament before taking on DePaul in the first round.
Well, and then talking to Coach Baranczyk, Chad, that next day or 2 days from that DePaul game, you could end up playing an old Big 12 foe, the K-State Wildcats, who you and I had the luxury of watching that game in here last year.
I believe it's Kansas State or Duke in the second game.
Correct. Out
there in Vegas. 37-point Oklahoma lead. Nice crossover by Edwards. She'll pick up a foul. It's an 8-0 Oklahoma run. So Jennie Baranczyk shoot around earlier today. As we look at this foul on Liz Scott. It's not getting over there in front. That's 3 fouls on Scott. She said she wanted her Sooners to, number 1, establish the paint. Number 2, rebound. Number 3, guard. How have they done?
Points in the paint 46-14, rebounding 49-17, and I think they've been excellent guarding the ball at the point of attack as they go back to this little matchup zone they like to on the baseline out of bounds plays. So I would say they're 3 for 3, Chad.
I would agree. Reed's miss falls right to Kirsten Johnson.
If Coach Baranczyk's going to have any gripes, and you know all coaches do, Chad, so it will be the turnovers, though, is what I would say. Sooners are at 17 turnovers right now, and you and I talked, they have 70 points. If they cut that in half and had about 8 turnovers, they might have 85 points right now.
Lady Jaguars will back it away, run a little offense here. Shot clock under 10. Fontenot against Keys. Just got that away, rejected by Kirsten Johnson. End to end, and the lay-in is good.
How impressive is that, Chad? You block it outside the three-point line, run it down, take 2, maybe 3, I think 2 bounces, and you're shooting a left-hand layup on the other end. That is a big-time play by an athlete.
And you are not going to catch her in a foot race.
You are not. 6'3" with the speed of a 5'5" guard out there. I cut her short. 6'4".
Second chance won't fall for Sky Castro. Zaya Van, Skylar Van. Sooners' favored mode of transportation is the van.
Jump in the van right there. The minivan, Zaya to Skylar right there, which was more of a everyone jump on my back. I'm a 15 passenger in this case.
You know, this is really the first time they've played together.
It is.
And Jimmy Baranczyk said, you know, if you were just around practice and didn't know any better, you would have no idea they were even sisters. As we look at Kirsten Johnson's
Let's count the dribble.
and deuce.
3, but the first one was just a gather. So 2.5 bounces and just runs it down. Head and eyes up. So impressive, by the way. And Zaya,
This freshman off the floor.
and we see why she said that. I mean, she knows. Coaches know best. She sees them every single day. And Zaya is proving her correctly. And the Sooners come with that, not a full lineup change, but they got 3 new bodies in right now. Jones, Culleton, and Raina Scott.
So now you got 6'4", 6'3", 6'2" lined up out there. Shot clock at 5. Lady Jags get a 3 from Gordine that's good. End to end, don't blink. Oklahoma will run right at you, but the Sooners turn it over. Taken back by Porter.
Raina Scott, such a good passer, but sometimes I always say this, sometimes natural passers like Raina, they almost get bored and they start trying things. So especially this point in the game, and that turnover number's up to about 18, a little higher than Coach Baranczyk wants.
Again, Lady Jags play the shot clock down to 5, and now they'll go to work. Excellent defensive rotations. Just the 3 is a little bit better from Deshante Edwards.
That time the Sooners, I thought, played excellent late clock ball screen coverage and defense by switching, but Edwards just a tough shot.
Easy money there for Kirsten Johnson. Able to catch it over the top of the 5'9" Aaliyah Fontenot.
Well, as a defender, you don't want to fish and miss. That's what they call that when you take that gamble in the post. You fish and miss, you give up layups, and that is what happened.
I think fishing is mostly missing. You only catch one about every 1,000 casts per.
And you are a professional, not fisherman, but you know a few things about fishing, Chad.
I've seen a little bit of it. Hard drive here by Gordine. Got trapped and had to give it away. Porter, no. And there's Kirsten Johnson with the in-traffic rebound. 1 minute left. Aubrey Jones will hoist one. She's been great at that throughout the course of her collegiate career. She's made 181 career threes. Just think about that. That's a player coming off the bench. She's a few spots down the bench. She's made nearly 200 threes in her college career.
Just a great weapon that you can bring in. I mean, think about it. She let 4 of them per game fly last season, where she played a little under 17 minutes. But when she tees it up and gets her elbow under, everyone sitting on that bench thinks it's going in, Chad.
See the other of the 2 Oklahoma freshmen, Kaya Smith. Oklahoma City Putnam West High School was in. This is her with the ball. Impressive opener for Oklahoma against a team that came into this building and won last December in a stunning upset. But Oklahoma would win 12 out of its next 13 en route to a second consecutive Big 12 title. It has been all Oklahoma from Jump Street here tonight. They led 10-0. Jones lets fly. Nope. Shot clock is off. And Oklahoma's going to be 1-0 and looking very much the part of a top 10 team in the opener pool.
Not a lot you can say, Chad. Again, as a coach, coaches always find something. That turnover number was a little high, but outside of that, man, did these Sooners come to play.
Clock is going to run out after that 3-ball out of the corner, and Oklahoma wins it by 32. The 44 points allowed tonight are the fewest allowed by the Sooners since Jenny Baranczyk arrived as head coach, now beginning her 4th season at the helm of the Sooners.